Hey, what's up, guys? We have a surprise for you to comment on, but I'm not going to tell you the name. She's pregnant too. I already know who it is, but I'm not going to tell you the name. Comment there on the page so you can comment and deal with it.
There are many internet personalities who have quick access to fame, with TikTok being a platform where going viral can happen, let's say, quickly, in quotes. This allows ordinary people to reach a high level of exposure in a short period of time, which can generate both admirers and haters. This is specifically the case of Guadalupe Villalobos, 22 years old, better known as Lupita TikTok, a girl from here in Monterrey, in Nuevo Leon, Mexico, who went viral after participating in Adrian Marcelo's show. Well, the woman claimed that the human body had only 7 bones.
How many bones does the human body have?
7?
What's wrong with you, Lupita?
With this answer, well, let's say funny or, absurd, Lupita quickly went viral on TikTok and started creating more content with different influencers from this state. However, today we won't talk about her sudden fame. Lupita became a topic of conversation again, but this time regrettably due to the passing of her little beba. What happened, and why is everything surrounding her loss under the scrutiny of the authorities? I'll tell you, but let's begin with the story. In September of the year 2024, Lupita announced her pregnancy, surprising her followers. The rumors started after a short video of Lupita went viral. She was seen at a street market with a pin or small medal on her belly near her navel. That pin is actually commonly used by pregnant women as a way to protect their baby.
Is Lupita TikTok pregnant, yes or no?
Yes, I am.
How far along are you in your pregnancy, Lupita?
Just 1 month.
After her videos were filled with comments about this, the influencer finally confirmed it. Many then wondered who was the father of this baby. Lupita was asked about the identity of her father, of the father of this child. Well, according to some photos that were circulating on Facebook, the young woman appeared with a much older man who seemed to be a public transport truck driver. In fact, in one of the pictures, Lupita is showing 2 stuffed animals while she was traveling on an urban route with this guy. While in another one, she leans against him to take the photo. Although the TikToker was asked who the father of her upcoming baby is, the young woman did not want to give more details or names. However, she assured that he would indeed take responsibility for the expenses and care, and she also described him as a calm person. Lupita explained that she was only 1 month pregnant and shared a photograph showing a pregnancy test she took on September 9th, which came out positive. For obvious reasons, she explained that she did not know the baby's gender. The young woman gave birth to her first daughter on April 16, 2025 in a hospital in Monterrey. And it was revealed that the father was Ricardo Sonrix Medellin, who shared the news through a video in which he explained that the baby was born healthy. She measured 18.5 inches and weighed 1 pound and 12 ounces. He also reported that Lupita was recovering after having undergone a cesarean section. The couple then named the girl Kareli Yamilet after the model Regiomontana Kareli Ruiz. Both mother and daughter were well and healthy. The father also assured, laughing, that the baby looked like him, while the family enjoyed this beautiful moment. A controversy, on the other hand, exploded on social media. Many began to wonder if Ricardo was actually a blood relative of Lupita, specifically her uncle. Another thing that concerned internet users was the age difference, which was, significant between them. She was 22 years old, and he was 46, more than twice her age. The speculation grew so much that the man himself came out to clarify everything. Through a video, he responded directly, "I am not her uncle. Just because I didn't invite them because of the kind of people they are with Lupita TikTok." But according to what is known, the love story between Lupita and Ricardo began when he was a bus driver and met her on public transportation. Over time, they became a couple and started creating content together for social media, as well as doing promotions for brands. The statements failed to calm the situation. The public transportation driver was even invited to a podcast due to the incident. The hosts of El Rincón del podcast asked the father if he thought the hate he received on social media was related to the age difference. Regarding this, he said that maybe people thought of her as a minor, but in fact, she had actually been involved with a teenager in the past. The man revealed that when he was 39 years old, he married a 14-year-old girl with whom he had a child. He is now 16 years old, which means he's a pervert, obviously. Although yes, later he corrected himself and said it was when he was 29. He continued his story saying, "I have my 16-year-old son and I still see him and his mother. I go to give them money." However, it should be noted that if indeed the eldest son is 16 years old and he is 46. So if he was 39 when he got the 14-year-old teenager pregnant, even if he later corrected the age, he was still an adult. Even afterwards, the interviewers paused to correct the age they had heard and looked at their guest in bewilderment. This confession has sparked criticism and outrage, as well as doubts about whether it was really the right environment for the baby to grow up in. The interview has been shared multiple times during a challenging period for the couple. It turns out that the baby of Lupita TikTok and Ricardo Medellin was hospitalized for dehydration in April.
She was urgently admitted to the maternal and child hospital in the municipality of Guadalupe with a severe case of dehydration and a possible kidney infection.
But if you thought the situation couldn't get any worse, well, on May 10th, the Attorney General's Office of the State of Nuevo León arrested Ricardo Medellin for his alleged responsibility in a crime comparable to rape against the influencer Lupita TikTok. Apparently, the arrest warrant was executed for abusing a person with cognitive vulnerability by having intimate relations and fathering a daughter. This was due to the victim's disability.
It was perpetrated through the abuse committed against a person with cognitive vulnerability by having sexual relations resulting in the birth of a daughter when, due to the nature of the victim, she was not in a condition to have that child.
According to the investigators, Lupita would not be in a condition to give valid consent or to assume the responsibilities of motherhood. This prompted the intervention of the Specialized Prosecutor's Office for Femicide and Crimes Committed Against Women. The arrest was carried out in the municipality of Juarez after the case came to light. On April 27th, when the couple admitted their newborn daughter to the Regional Maternal and Child Hospital in Guadalupe.
The arrest of Ricardo N., 47 years old, was carried out in the municipality of Juarez through an arrest warrant.
With the case's explosion and the baby's critical condition, Lupita's father, TikTok, revealed that his daughter has always been a victim of bullying. This caused him deep pain. Lupita also mentioned it in a podcast. But anyway, Don Martin clarified that although they claimed the influencer was sick, the only thing she had was a speech problem. According to him, Lupita spoke slowly. She just has a speech problem, that's all. That's what the baby's grandfather said, that at just 14 days old, she began to show signs of dehydration. So she was immediately hospitalized and remained under medical observation with a guarded prognosis.
They reported to me that the baby was admitted to the hospital, investigations began, and the baby's health condition was also being investigated. And then they realized that there is an issue of negligence.
The incident became known because Mariana Rodriguez, the businesswoman, politician, and wife of Samuel Garcia, the governor of Nuevo León, the First Lady revealed that the prosecutor's office was investigating the family situation of the influencer Lupita TikTok and the newborn baby. The news generated divided opinions on social media as people claimed that because of Lupita's condition, she would not be able to take care of the child.
And there's also an issue of substance use involved. It's not about whether we want to take the baby away or not. There's an issue of substance use that's not acceptable for a newborn baby.
Additionally, internet users expressed concern about the possible substance use by Carelli's parents, which would pose a risk to her well-being. If there were evidence of a risky environment due to substance use, the baby would not be able to return home after recovering. Rodriguez also mentioned that Lupita, TikTok, and her husband tested positive on a substance detection test. Upon leaving the Regional Maternal and Child Hospital of Nuevo León, Lupita denied the accusations and dismissed the possibility that the National System for Integral Family Development would take custody of her daughter. The young woman said it was all a lie and that she loved the baby. In turn, Mariana Rodriguez's comments directly influenced the case to become a trending topic on social media. However, her involvement has divided opinions on X, what used to be Twitter. Twitter, where a large group of users accused the woman of capitalizing on the tragedy and trivializing the situation. The debate then intensified due to a post made on X, where Mariana was accused of violating the rights of the newborn girl. The comment said,
Mariana Rodriguez gossiping to everyone that the
baby of Lupita TikTok was,
she's been hospitalized in an emergency and they're going to take her away. Why are you exposing her and laughing?
That position then was supported by a large group of users, but it was also challenged by followers of Mariana Rodriguez, which sparked a debate on the social network. Many users defended the importance of making the case visible, so that the people who defended her fiercely would realize that even though she was famous, she was not mentally well enough to have a baby.
And what if it makes me sad to see her like that?
Many also attacked Lupita, calling her a bad mother for causing the girl to be hospitalized in an emergency. According to the State Attorney General's office, the girl was hospitalized since April 27. Due to a severe infection known as sepsis, this condition is an extreme response of the body to an infection.
I want my little girl back, and I just want you to know that I love her very much. And so, we're waiting for the news to tell us what's wrong with her.
The heartbreaking news caused Lupita's story to go viral, with an outpouring of emotion surrounding her. Not only because of the drama she was going through with the little girl, but also because of the series of accusations involving the hospital, according to Lupita's manager. Another one, let's say a freeloader, they were giving them bad advice since the birth. And he stated that there were medical negligences that were being analyzed by a legal team. However, the hospital released a completely different version. A nurse stated that the baby was admitted in severely compromised condition, meningitis, severe dehydration, and other infections. And she concluded that nothing more could be done for the girl, distancing the medical staff from the accusations that the story spread widely online.
They claim that she has malformations both in her brain and in her kidneys, which have caused her to have several seizures.
Amid conflicting reports and an atmosphere full of tension, Lupita decided to speak in front of the cameras, although recently, on legal advice, she has stopped making further statements. Before remaining silent, she did, as I said, give a ray of hope that moved many people. The scene completely distanced her from the digital spectacle that always surrounded her. When she was asked about her daughter's health, her voice did not waver. In front of the media, the young woman said she was better and recovering. The family was praying for her every day and every night. Her faith, as strong as her presence in front of the hospital, had become everyone's anchor. Lupita refused to leave until the girl was discharged from the hospital in good health. Unfortunately, the ending was not what everyone would have wanted. The influencer and her family were at the maternal and child hospital, waiting, as I said, for Kareli to show some improvement in her health. They did not leave for a single moment, the place where their daughter Kareli was fighting to survive. As the days went by, rumors about the baby's death began to circulate on social media, which Lupita herself denied, while they made sure improvements were being made. The influencer continued to make headlines for the latest interview she gave to talk about her daughter's health condition, but her confused conversation caused a stir. Later, she was asked if she had any news about any improvement the girl is currently showing. But the content creator couldn't answer again because her words stopped making sense together.
And well, you can tell that right now I'm tired, well, sad. With the C-section and well...
The face of the influencer, Lucia, looked so overwhelmed because she was wearing an earpiece to hear what they were asking her from the studio, but she couldn't clearly hear what they were saying through the device. However, it was all a misunderstanding since through that device, she was actually hearing the interviewer. They also claimed that the influencer's husband, Ricardo Medellin, was allegedly squeezing her shoulder as she spoke, since at the beginning of the interview, the young woman was speaking while laughing. And supposedly the man would control her that way so she wouldn't say too much. All of this happened before the man's arrest. Obviously, even though there was hope that the suffering would end and become just a bad memory from the past. On Tuesday, May 13th, the Nuevo Leon prosecutor's office confirmed the sad passing of little Kareli after more than 2 weeks in the hospital.
To confirm for you, unfortunately, the death of little Kareli, a 3-week-old baby daughter of a young woman known on social media as Lupita TikTok.
Sepsis severely damaged her tissues and organs, which led to her death at 1:05 hours on May 13th. However, the medical report detailed that on May 4th, the baby had been diagnosed with brain death. On May 13th, in the early morning, she suffered a cardiac arrest, from which the medical staff could not revive her, ending her life just a few days after she was born. According to information that was reportedly released by the maternal and child hospital, Lupita TikTok's daughter was admitted to the emergency room due to sepsis, a medical emergency that occurs when the body responds in an extreme way to an infection, causing organ failure. In the case of the child, it would be neonatal sepsis, which occurs in babies less than 90 days old and usually appears in the first week of life. This type of sepsis can occur due to an infection in the mother before her baby is born or during childbirth.
The prosecutor's office initiated the relevant investigations, which proceeded accordingly. At 14 days old, the baby girl was admitted to the maternal and child hospital due to symptoms of dehydration, fever, and neglect.
After the death, things worsened for Lupita and her daughter's father. Authorities are still investigating the case at the moment I'm recording. This is both because of the death of the minor and the alleged crimes involving the father. While the influencer was grieving the death of the baby, her father broke his silence and spoke about Ricardo's recent arrest. In an interview with Televisa Monterrey, Don Martin disclosed his daughter's current residence following her partner's arrest and transfer to a social reintegration center in Nuevo León. The father explained that his daughter is under his care.
They just got there, they just arrived because they went to their house to get some clothes and everything is calm.
Don Martin said the home of Lupita, Tito, and their father is cordoned off. When asked about Kareli's father, he emphasized that he always asked them not to get him into trouble.
He used to tell us, don't go because you'll get into trouble. But as someone did, amen. He went on his own.
For his part, Ricardo Medellin was admitted to a state social reintegration center where he will remain in preventive detention while the judicial process against him takes place.
The public prosecutor gathered the necessary evidence to order preventive detention against Ricardo.
The authorities continue with the investigations to clarify the facts and determine the future of the minor. The influencer's case continues to spark controversy on social media and has now reached the legal realm. According to the lawyer specializing in children's law, Diego Colin, the young woman could face legal charges for neglect and even involuntary manslaughter. The lawyer clarified that Lupita has a physical disability, not a psychological one, which makes her fully accountable before the law. Her disability would not stop her from grasping the gravity of her actions. It's a lie. In fact, it's a lie about this day.
In fact, about this, it's a lie because for the same reason that I love her very much, I respect her, she's my daughter.
If negligence in the care of the girl is proven, Lupita could face legal proceedings for neglect. This would mean a sentence of 4 to 6 years in prison for the influencer, according to the legal framework.
I adore her, I change her, I bathe her, I get her ready, I also get myself ready. And I've been like this for several days because of my C-section, which I have.
Apparently, Lupita TikTok and her partner Ricardo were profiting from little Kareli's health since she had been brain dead for days. But they wanted to keep the topic going on social media and in the media to make money from it. This makes it seem like they were using it to make money from what happened. The video, since every day that the little girl was in the hospital, they were promoting this casino on Lupita's TikTok account. And the topic of the girl's health was a subject of conversation for several weeks, but now, well, it's over. Several content creators have expressed their condolences to Lupita and her family. Because after so much controversy, what hurts the most and will deeply affect everyone is the death of an innocent baby. Finally, the case has polarized public opinion, dividing people between those who demand justice for the child and those who defend the influencer because of his social vulnerability. For now, the authorities continue with the investigation, while the discussion on social media remains heated. The seriousness of the case could set a precedent in how the legal responsibilities of public figures with physical disabilities involved in situations of this kind are analyzed. Updates on the progress of the judicial process are expected in the coming days. And this is how this publicly tragic story has exposed, as I said, many controversies, such as sexual relations and disability, child abuse, alleged parental negligence, and even a deep questioning of the medical system. But above all, the life of a baby who became the center of a country that watches, gives opinions, and divides without saying a word, and having consideration for a minor, because social media can become an uncontrolled public trial. While thousands comment from their screens, hidden in anonymity, a family unfortunately lives through a real tragedy. Beyond the gossip, what mattered was the well-being of a baby who is regrettably no longer with us.
There's nothing I can do. I love her very much. I miss her. She's my daughter. I love her so much, and well.
So what are your final thoughts on this case? How do you think this controversy will end? Who is the real culprit? Was Lupita really aware of what she was experiencing? Does she have a disability? Did this guy take advantage of her? Did they want to monetize the baby's death? Did the manager also take advantage to monetize? Can you leave your feedback in the comments for me? And well, the latest known about this case at the time I'm recording is that Lupita's husband, Ricardo, was formally charged for a crime comparable to rape. The Nuevo Leon prosecutor's office presented sufficient evidence to a judge who decided the case should go to trial. Therefore, Ricardo will remain in pretrial detention. According to the investigation, the relationship with Lupita, who has a cognitive vulnerability, would not have had valid consent. As I mentioned earlier, if more information comes out, I'll provide an update in another video. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let me know your opinion on this topic.
It's thanks to my followers and thanks to my team who were here with me, and blessings, and thank you very much.